So, guys, it is the top of the year. Happy New Year to everyone. And what better way to kick off the new year than this gentleman with his larger than life presence and personality? And so, this evening, we are kicking off the new year of It's Consulting Time with Darryl Perry. He's a big and tall model. He's also acting and singer from Ohio and now living in Atlanta. And so, let's get to know him a little bit. Ladies, he's not too bad on the eyes either. Didn't I tell you, ladies? I told you he is not bad on the eyes. But let's welcome Darryl Perry to the stage, right? To the stage.
What's up,
It's
y'all?
closing time with your girl,
We
Lil
here.
Bro. And I am so fortunate to be hosting this handsome, charismatic, big and tall model actor.
We here. We here. We are here. What's up, everybody?
So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're gonna dive right in.
Yeah. So I'm originally from my name is Darryl Perry, for those who don't know. And I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio. Grew up between Dayton and Springfield, Ohio. Okay. And I left Ohio 2016. Moved up to the Northern Virginia area. Was there for 5 years. 2019, I found the big and tall modeling world, and I was introduced to it because as a big guy, and I'm probably jumping ahead of you here with the questions, but as a big guy, growing up, I dealt with, a lot of, self-confidence issues and just different things like that kind of followed me throughout my life. And so 2019, I found the whole big and tall thing, which I'll disclose later on in our conversation. But yeah, I was in Northern Virginia for about 5 years, moved to Georgia, where I currently reside. I've been here since end of 2020. So, and yeah, been here ever since and doing my thing.
Okay. So no, you're definitely right on time because we're gonna dive into a couple of different things. First and foremost, so you are one of four children. Now, were you the larger of your siblings?
I was always the bigger one, but I hit a crazy growth spurt around like 15, 16.
Okay.
I had an older brother. He was always taller than me. But man, about 15, 16 years old, it was funny because he had did a little jail time, right? And my brother, and so he had got out of jail and he came home, and I was probably standing a solid 6'2" at the time. And the last time he had saw me, I was maybe, 5'9", and so I had grew a lot, and he was looking at me like, all right, you still little brother, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've always been like the bigger. Now I'm like the biggest one of my family. So
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I always, it's always interesting to hear the stories because a lot of time people are the runt of the litter and then they end up being the bigger kid. And I just think back to my brother and I, we were large kids, but I was the biggest baby and the larger toddler. And then it was like he got to middle school and got huge, but I was large all the time. So I get it.
Yeah, for sure. Family of giants.
Yes. So, all right, we're gonna break this thing down.
Okay,
we know you're a big and tall model, and we're gonna go there. But you have some music loving parents, so you have a very strong connection to music and film. So talk to us a little bit about that. Like, did you start in music and film as a kid, or how did that journey kind of begin?
So I've always connected to music. I mean, music was my way of just kind of expressing myself and feeling things. I mean, growing up, my upbringing was kind of different because, I had parents who was bringing me up and they didn't have parents to raise them. And so like, it was like emotionally, my development was different. So when it comes to music, I remember like riding in the car and, my dad playing like some smooth jazz or some old, like Al Jarreau or like, different artists like that. And like, I remember that being some of the first music that I ever listened to. And, ever since I was young, ever since I can remember, I've always been heavily connected to music. And when it came to film, I always loved movies that helped me kind of like escape and take me to different places. Music, I feel, was like a universal language that I still love and use today. And film was more of like a gateway to different places. You know, like you could see a movie that's talking about, you know, this part of the world or this type of event. So I've always connected to the arts, definitely.
So, okay. So we're gonna shift gears. So you said that music was a way for you to express yourself.
Yeah.
You also spoke about kind of your transition when you hit your growth spurt, right?
Yes.
And so you were a little bit shorter and then you hit your growth spurt.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm here, baby.
I'm here. I'm here. Right.
But you also, in reading about you, I saw that you did have some issues, in
Yeah.
school with what now we call bullying. Back when
Yeah.
we were in school, it was just
Yeah. Poking fun.
poking
Right.
fun at
Right. Right.
everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
But it lasted for a pretty good span of time until your 20s. So how did you kind of work through, that bullying, and what kind of motivated that it
Yeah.
lasted so long?
Yeah. So for me, it wasn't okay. So and I'll clarify. So it wasn't bullying. So where we're from, like it comes to, I feel like it all depends on the person. So for me, I had a very weak complex growing up. I was kind of like the bigger guy. I didn't have any confidence in myself, and so when we'd be in school roasting or whatever, I actually believed what everyone said, and I was like the bigger, like I was kind of like the taller one, but I was very corny, very awkward. You know, didn't have no game. I didn't have know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to roast. It was just, it was like, my dating life growing up sucked. I was like getting clowned a lot. So it was like a lot of lack of self confidence in myself, right?
Okay, okay.
And that same thing followed me like through like literally my early 20s. Like, I mean, it was like I just didn't feel, I felt inferior to a
Okay.
lot of people. It was like just the lack of confidence in myself. Well, yeah, it got to the point where I was tired of talking bad about myself. I was tired of, it was like, yo, I'm getting it from the world. I got it growing up. I don't need to give it to myself. So how do I get out of this? You know? And I left Ohio 2016. I was in a very dark place.
Okay.
And I moved to Spotsylvania, Virginia. That's where my
Spotsylvania.
Spotsy. I was out there in Spotsy. And yeah, I was out there. My granddad has a farm out there, which is crazy. And I grew up in the city. So me moving to the farm, it was just me and acres of land. And I made the commitment to myself. I was like, when I move here, I leave Ohio, I'm gonna be different. It's time to change who I am. And I sat on the farm and I was cutting grass, acres, and it's just me and my thoughts. And I'm healing traumas and I'm redigging things and scratching up the surface. And it was painful,
Yes.
I cried, but then I found out it was like, yo, like you weren't as bad as you thought you were.
Nope.
And now when I go back and I see younger pictures of myself, I was like, Darryl, you was actually good looking. You was handsome. But
Listen.
you know what is crazy? Because if you don't believe it in yourself,
That's
ain't
it.
nobody, it doesn't matter. And it took me a while to finally start believing in myself. And then my journey started of just growing and changing the way I dressed and pushing the envelope a little bit and just
Mm.
scooting more and more and more like towards where I wanted to be.
I love it. And listen, guys, if you I'm telling you, if you've never stepped foot on a farm,
Mm-hmm.
if you've never had an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to exist around
Mm-hmm.
livestock, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because, see, we had that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are on acres and acres of land, and even when you're tending to farm life,
Mm-hmm.
you have to trust yourself, because most of the time it's just you and the animals, or it's
Mm-hmm.
just you and you don't know what's in the grass. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I charge everybody that's watching.
Mm-hmm.
If you have children that are struggling with attention, deficits, self-esteem issues, I charge you to get them connected with some kind of equine therapy or anything to do with botany, anything like that.
It's something about
because
it.
it's a different confidence filler there.
Yes,
Period.
yes, yes. And when you have time to spend, it's something about like just being in nature. Like, I mean, I was out there in that farm, and like I said, it was acres and acres. So when I would be like doing the yard work, I would be out there cutting the grass, and it's just me and all this grass, and I'm going up and down this, and I just me and my thoughts. And you're like sitting there, you're like, you have no choice but to think, and
Yes.
a lot of healing took place out there, and like I'm very thankful for it because if it wasn't for that low part and me going into that transition to
Yes.
healing, I would have never, I wouldn't be here.
All right, y'all. I know y'all bored, but we're having fun because we understand. But we're gonna talk about how he got into modeling.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 2019, what happened?
So, I was sitting there with a friend of mine. She's a plus size model, and she's like, Darryl, you are the poster child for big and tall. And I'm like, what is big and tall? All I knew is that I had issues finding clothes all the time. And I knew if you go to like a place like a Burlington or the mall, something like that, some places will have a big and tall section, but I never knew really what it was. And she was like, let me show you something. So she brought me to Instagram, and she was like, hey, these are different big and tall models, and these guys are doing their thing. But these guys, they may be big, but they're 5'9", or they may be tall but skinny as ever. She was like, Darryl, you're 6'7", 365 pounds. She was like, you are big and
you
tall.
grown.
You grown, right, right. You need to step into this. And I'm like, I was at a place in my journey where I really felt open to that. I was like, okay, I had always had like a self and like a insecurity with my chest, my body, right? But I had been working out, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. So what I did was it started on Facebook. I did a post on my personal page of a photo. I went to the DR with some family, and there was an off-guard photo that they caught of me. They was like, Darryl, I turned around and I had my shirt off, and it just happened to be such a good picture. And I posted and I threw my phone. I was like, oh, I can't believe I did that. I was panicking because I'm like expecting so much negativity. But that photo, so many positive comments. Everybody like, yo, that's crazy. Like, you look so different. And I love the confidence. So boom, I jumped over to Instagram. I was like, okay, I'm going to give myself 6 months. I'm going to give myself 6 months to try this out. And if nothing happens from it, I'm gonna let it go. Well, for 4 months, I was hustling. I mean, I'm sitting there like spending money on clothes, spending money on photographers, which I learned in the beginning, you don't have to do that. A lot of models, they think they got to buy all these new clothes and they got to buy all these new things. But there's photographers that'll work with you for free. And it's called, so TFP. You go to Facebook, look at your local TFP, like it'll be, say Miami TFP is trade for photos. So it's like they'll take photos for you for their portfolio, and you get photos for yourself. So it's like it's a hand in hand thing. So I went on Instagram. I did a photo shoot at the beach with my photographer Tony, and that went viral 4 months in. And I mean, it did numbers. Like, we did a mock Essence magazine cover, and like this was during the pandemic, and I'm getting calls like, hey, yo, like, people reposting you on Twitter, and these are people who used to clown me back in school. You know what I mean? Like, yo, they just crazy. I see you doing your thing, blah, 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 blah. And like, I went from 2,200 followers on Instagram to 11,000 like overnight. And then from there, it was just boom, 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 boom. It's just all she wrote. So I kind of just been doing it ever since.
So guys, like, this is the type of thing that is authentic, that is real. My charge, and I have a lot of charging calls to actions consulting time, but I think this is important because we have to stop looking to celebrities, and I use that I use that term lightly, to be role models and mentors for these babies coming up.
Yeah.
This gentleman right here, Mr. Darryl Perry, is the epitome
Thank you.
of not just an overnight sensation, but an overnight success
Mm.
in character building, in self-esteem building,
Mm.
and in work ethic.
Mm.
So I think that we want to salute you, first of all, just for that, because
Thank
people
you.
don't understand. One of the things that we need to just highlight right now is obesity is something that plagues so many communities.
Yes.
Obesity knows no race, no age, no
Yes.
socioeconomic status, because the reality is that I don't care how much money you got, I don't care how much surgery you pay for, obesity plagues everybody.
Yes.
Now let's
Yes.
just be real about it, you know. And
Yes.
so,
Yes.
I really think that this is an opportunity for us to touch on a lot of these things because it's real. Okay, guys, I'm
Yes.
back there. You know, I had to get serious with it because
Nah, I
it just
love it.
it
I
is
love
what it
it.
is.
It
It
is what
really
it
is
is,
what it
and
is.
it's real. It's real.
Yes,
It's
yes.
real. Yeah.
All right, so it's been what, 3-4 years? You've been
Uh-huh.
doing this thing, making it happen.
Yeah.
So, what
Uh-huh.
has it been like within the past 12 months?
Oh, it's been crazy. So like it's funny. So like things was moving so fast after the whole viral thing and just
Mm-hmm.
the connections and the meetings and I've worked with a few brands and like
Okay.
I'm like, okay, now I'm in a place where it's like, all right, I'm at a place I'm like, okay, I'm continuing the modeling thing, but I'm also stepping into like the influencer thing of it side of it also. It's like I feel like on the influencer side, I can show my personality a lot more. It's like the modeling is cool, it's great, and I love it. But now it's like with the reels and social media stuff like that, I can kind of
Yes.
show how something looks like genuinely on the bigger man. You know what I mean? I can show some personality and just kind of change the narrative on the big guy. You know
So
what I
I
mean?
need you to
Like,
push into these schools. Like I
yeah,
need you, every school across these United States of America, y'all need to book this man right here. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. I got you. And I'm working. I also have a young men's movement that I started called "What's Up, Lil Bro." And yeah, yeah,
Okay, tell
and
us about it.
yeah, yeah.
You
So
can't
what's
put
up,
it out there and not
hey,
elaborate.
listen, hey, I'm about to dive into it. So, what's up, little bro? What's up, little bro? Is a young man's motivational page that I started. You guys can follow it on Instagram _ What's up, little bro?
Okay.
And it's to motivate young men, to become the better selves by teaching them get like life lessons that they may or may not be getting at home, like confidence, hygiene, chivalry, controlling your temper, the importance of chores, just, all of these different things that are ultimately going to better them in the long run. Does that make sense? So, and like, I understand how hard it can be for a young man, but I'm here to help with that. They see somebody and they can see where I come from and they see where I'm at. And I can give them tools on how to get there, whatever they want to do, whether they want to be an athlete or whether they want to be a mathematician or a plumber. Like, just give them that confidence, like, yo, you can do whatever you want to do, young man, because you got this. You know what I mean? What's up, little bro? That's what
What's
it's
up,
that's
little
what it's all
bro? I
about. You know what I
love
mean?
it.
Yeah.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my gosh. So Darryl, like, what steps do you take to maintain your physical appearance?
So I balance a lot of things out. Now I'm not no diet, no diet man or nothing like that, but I do balance. I believe a lot of things in like moderation. Like if I eat crazy for like a few days, then I'll go light for a day. I'll reset, drink water, and
Okay.
just kind of, and then like when it comes to working out, I try to do 3-4 times a week. Just something to maintain. I don't feel like you have to do anything crazy. I really do feel like it's all in what you eat and how you take in things and just getting your water in.
Okay.
Because in my family, all my family's big, so it's like
Oh,
I'm really the only one that kind of like has like a grip on it, or because I know if I let myself go for a month, then I'm looking
listen,
totally different. You know what I
listen,
mean?
listen. Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
easy. It's easy because I pack on weight very easily. So for me,
Uh-huh.
it's like, okay, I need to make sure I do a lot of like mobility training, make sure I can squat and do different things with my
Okay.
knees because my knees start hurting and just my joints because I'm 6'7", and
Yeah.
any person who's tall or big, like your joints are one of the first thing that goes. So I want to be able to
It
run
takes the
around.
brunt of the stress. And
Yeah.
you know something, people don't understand that. So let's, guys, y'all about to get all kinds of lessons here. We're gonna talk to y'all about kinesiology. We're talking to y'all about mental
Right.
health. We're talking to y'all about all this stuff. But what people fail to realize is a lot of times when you've been heavy all your life, and when you play sports being heavy all your life, when you lose the weight, you've already injured those joints. And you have to keep them moving because that fluid, baby. Yes.
It's a constant thing for me. Like, I mean, like, I have tendonitis in both of my knees from basketball. And like, I have a screw in my head from like just growing up, being an active big guy, the taller kid growing up. And like, it's like, I'm constantly trying to stay on top of that. So just, I've created a system for myself to where it's realistic, and I know I can make it to the gym and I don't burn myself out, because it's easy. People, when motivation comes, people tend to go hard and do crazy things and burn themselves out really fast. So I just kind of created something for myself that I can maintain,
Absolutely.
And I say that's something everybody should do.
Absolutely, guys. This has definitely been amazing, and we're not through just yet. We're gonna kind of turn it down a little bit and really have a little bit of fun. So, who has been your greatest inspiration?
This is funny. I was just thinking about this the other day. It's a few people that I studied when I was like trying to grow confidence and become whoever, So, we all have to look towards somebody, right? So for me, I was like, okay, who do I think is confident? And if I could be this, if I could create who I want to be, right? Who would I study, right? So a few guys, right? So I love Jamie Foxx, right? I love his ability to do anything. He can act, he can model, he can sing, he do all these different things, and he's a great host. He's just very funny and active, right? So I love that about him, right? And then you have like Morris Chestnut, right? Morris Chestnut, I like how smooth he is. I like the smile. I like just, he's a dark-skinned guy. I kind of was like, okay, I'm a dark-skinned guy. So it's like, all right, how should I, carry myself as a dark skin? I love the way he dressed, And then Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, right? I was like, he's very charismatic. And if the way he's grown over the years from his beginning to where he's early interviews, he's very quiet. And then now he's just very, like I said, charismatic and open, and he's able to lead a conversation and talk. And so I just kind of studied these guys and kind of was like, okay, that's how I want to be, and that's what you have to do.
Absolutely.
Like if you don't like things about yourself, there's nothing wrong with changing. It's not saying you don't love yourself any less. You just have things that you want to work on personally. So that was some guys who motivated me.
Absolutely, guys. And so one of the things that I think is so dope, Darryl tells, the young people that life can be hard. You know what I'm saying? But he's here to help you navigate through it. And one of the things that we salute you for is just that, and the fact that you said something that's very profound. It's not that you don't love yourself, but it's okay to want to change a few things about yourself. Absolutely. Now, as a model, as an actor, and dibbly dabbling in music and things of that nature, what do you feel though is your favorite?
Out of all three. Okay. So music has always been my love, right?
Okay.
I've always loved singing. I've always loved that whole thing. Music has always been that for me, right? But has also been my biggest insecurity also.
Okay.
So like outside of the body and everything is my voice. I've always loved to sing, and I sang all growing up, but it was always something that was kind of silenced in a way.
Okay.
And so like I feel like I'm working on growing the confidence when it comes to singing. Okay. Right. I
ain't gonna put you on the spot. Okay.
No, but it's like it's real though. It's like, you can love something so much, but when it's dimmed down for so long, you kind of have to work to get to the point where like you have the confidence in it. The modeling and the acting, it's scary for me as well, but I love music. I love music.
Okay.
I love music. I
Yeah,
do.
music
Yeah.
is
So
therapy. Music is
yes, it
definitely
is.
therapy.
It's very
Wow.
definitely therapy. Yes. Hmm.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Dale, it has been just an ultimate pleasure. And you will be
Thank you.
back. We're
Yeah.
gonna bring you back probably on the All Things Authentic side, which is
Yeah.
more or less it is a virtual broadcast as well, but it's a nonprofit now. And
Awesome.
we definitely would love to have you aboard to just
Yes.
talk about some of the life lessons, like you were talking about
Yes.
controlling tempers, building confidence. I probably can learn a lesson in controlling tempers because
It ain't easy. It ain't easy.
mm,
It's
oh
not
yes.
easy. It's not easy. Mm-mm. It's definitely not easy. I feel you. I feel
But
you.
let everybody know where they can find you on social
Yeah.
media and any upcoming projects or anything that you're working on.
Definitely, definitely. So stay tuned. Follow my What's Up Lil Bro page. That's underscore What's Up Lil Bro, LIL Bro. Okay, and there I'm working on doing some things, with different nonprofits and working, hopefully getting in with some YMCA's in the area, different things like that, and just trying to reach these young men out here. And then also follow my modeling, acting. You can see all that stuff on my Kholo lifestyle page. That's KHOLO lifestyle. Again, that's KHOLO lifestyle. And there you can find everything. That's where I do all the good stuff. So you can find it there. I'm working with some different new brands. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, we just trying to get the plus size, big and tall guy into different worlds. Representation is key.
Oh, representation is key. Y'all heard him? So, as always, we're always here to bring you some of the greatest creatives, innovators, and leaders. And I think Darryl just did it. Like he just brought you
Thank you.
Jules and Justice. Darryl, thank you so much for being here. You are welcome back any time.
Thank you for having me.
And we love everything that you're doing. So underscore What's Up, Lil Bro. Kholo lifestyle, support, and let's run him all the way up.
Let's do
It's
it, y'all.
2023, everyone.
Let's go.
Let's have fun.
Let's go.
See you later.
Let's go.